1915 this was published by C.J. Dennis, and the poem is called The Play. "What's in a name?" she says, and she sighs and clasps her little hands and rolls her eyes. "A rose by any other name would smell the same. Oh, wherefore art you Romeo, young sir? Chuck your old pot and change your moniker. Doreen and me, we've been to see a show. The swell $2 touch. Bong tong, you know, a chair apiece with velvet on the seat, a slap-up treat. The drama's writ by Shakespeare years ago about a balmy goat called Romeo. Lady beyond the moon, says he, and then he climbs up on the balcony. There they smooge a bit with pretty words like two lovebirds. I nudge Doreen, she whispers, ain't it grand? Her eyes are shining and I squeeze her hand. What's in her name, she says. Struth, I don't know. Billow is just as good as Romeo. She may be Julia or Juliet. He loves her yet. If she's the tart he wants, then she's his queen. Names never count, but I like Doreen. A sweeter, dearer sound I never heard. There's music hangs around that little word, Doreen. But what was this I start to say about the play? I'm off me beat, but when a bloke's in love, his thoughts turn their way like a homing dove. This Romeo, he's lurking with a crew, a tough crowd of crooks called Montague. His Kleiner's push, what's named Capulet, they has him set. Fair narcs they are, just like them backstreet cliques, except they fight with skewers instead of bricks. What's in a name? What's in a string of words? They scrap St. Alvarona with their swords and never give a bloke a stray dog's chance, and that's romance. But when they deals it out with bricks or boots in Little Lon, they're low-degraded brutes. What's just plain stoush with us right here today is valour, if you're far enough away. Sometimes some writer bloke will do the trick with Ginger Mick of Spadger's Lane. He'll be a Romeo when he's been dead 500 years or so. Fair Juliet, she gives her boy the tip, says she, don't sling that crowd of mine no lip, and if you run again a Capulet, just do a get. He swears he's done with lash, he'll chuck it clean. Same as I done when I first met Doreen. They smooge some more at that. Oh, strike me blue. Give me Joe's to sit and watch them too. He'd break away and start to say goodbye, and she sighs, oh, Romeo, and get a stranglehold and hang around him like she feared he'd bolt. Next day, he words a gospel cove about a secret wedding, and they plan it out. He spouts a piece about how he's bewitched, then they get itched. Now, here's the place for I fair get the pip. She's his for keeps, and yet he lets her slip. But he makes me sick. A fair gazob, he's just a glassy on a soulful sob. He'll sigh and spruik and howl a lovesick vow, the silly cow, but when it's got a spiced and on the straight, he cruels the pitch and tries to kid its fate. Fate me foot. Instead of sloping soon as he was wed off on his honeymoon, him and his cobber called Mick Curio, they have a go and mix it with that push of Capulets. A tug named Tibble scales them out and push comes to slove. And Mercurio gets it in the neck. Rats, he says, and passes in his check. Quite natural, Romeo gets wet as hell. It's me or you, he howls, and with a yell, plonks Tibble through the gizzard with his sword. Oh, my God, put in the boot, I says, put in the boot. Ush, says Doreen. Shame, says some silly coot. Then Romeo, he don't know what to do. The cops gets busy like they always do, and nose round in a blue funk, and he does a bunk. They wants his tart to wed some other guy. Strike, she says. I wish that I could die. This here gospel cove's a fair shrewd head, says he. I'll dope ya so they'll think you're dead. She takes his knockout droops up in her room. They think she's snuffed and plant her in a tomb. Then things gets mixed a treat and starts to whirl. His Romeo comes back and finds his girl tucked in her coffin, cold and stiff, and in a jiff, he swallows Lysol, throws a fancy fit out of a turkey, and his soul has split. Then Juliet wakes up and finds him there, turns on the waterworks and tears her hair. Dear love, she says, I cannot live alone. And with a moan, she grabs his pocket knife and ends her cares. Peanuts or lollies, says the boy upstairs. C.J. Dennis.